Hey gang, it's Steve. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Tonight's blog is kind of fun. What I'm going to do, I took on this really interesting project recently, which is kind of weird for me. I'm very, very selective about the projects that I take on because there's only so many hours in a day. I try to fill as many of those hours up myself with things I really, really love and want to do. So unfortunately, the way to do that is to say no to most everything, and so that you can say yes to the things that really count. But in this particular case, it was kind of too good of an opportunity to pass up. What it is a gentleman here in my little burb that I live in, outside of a little bit north of Las Vegas, has asked me if I would be his sort of principal accompanist for an evening of crooner music. So he wants to do a bunch of Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, that kind of stuff, Johnny Mathis. And I have always loved that kind of music. I haven't done a ton of it. I played in jazz band in high school for 4 years, and I played in jazz band in college for 3 years. And while I was in college, out of the jazz band, a few of us put together a little combo, and we used to play standards out of the Hal Leonard fake book. And that was kind of fun. It was like a guitar player and a drummer and myself and a bass player. And then we had a saxophone player and a trombone player. And we would just, go through the Hal Leonard fake book, and the two horn players would play the melody line in octaves while the rest of us would comp, and then we would each take a solo. And it was just kind of fun. Used to play at a coffee house, get about $5 a piece for the night, so that was a really good paying gig. Anyway, but that was fun. But I've been out of college for like 15 years now, and I really haven't done a whole heck of a lot with this kind of music since then. So, and I was never what I'd call an expert at it in the first place. So I was kind of eager to take on the challenge, if for no other reason, even though I'm not going to get to sing this stuff at the show that we're going to do, which is kind of a bummer because I love to sing. At least I'm going to put these tracks together, and then I'll have them, and it's a good excuse to put 20 or 25 of those songs together. And then I'll have them in my catalog so that I can incorporate them in and rotate them into my sets. And maybe I'll get a chance at some point to do a crooner night, because it is kind of fun. So what I wanted to do tonight, earlier today, I put together tracks for 2 Frank Sinatra songs for this project. And I was really having fun playing with them. And what I've done is I've created sort of a small combo feel. I'm not going to try to recreate a big band or an orchestra with my sequencer. I just think, frankly, that there comes a point in time when less can be more, especially when you're dealing with a limited number of people playing live. So what I did is I just did a bass track and a drum track, and then I'm going to play piano live. For you, I'm going to sing. And then I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about how I'm incorporating the same stuff I'm teaching you in the membership portal, particularly as it pertains to improvisation. Because the blues scale, the swing scale, and all the different intro to improvising techniques like the toggle technique and using the chord that you're playing in to make fills and the cascading arpeggios, they're pretty universal. They can be used in all different kinds of genres. The main difference between the rock, pop, and country we tend to play and this is that most of the chords in this kind of music tend to be a little bit more complex, with a lot of grace notes, flatted fifths, and sharped nines, and sharped 11ths occasionally, and a lot of 6s and 13s. And at this very moment in time when I film this, I haven't taught some of those kinds of chords yet in the members section because they don't play a big role in rock, pop, and country, so I've been trying to move forward with other stuff that's more applicable. But I do intend to teach all these kinds of weird chords, and maybe we'll get into looking at how to use some of this stuff in these standards, because that's really the only main difference, is that if you're going to do an arpeggio or you're going to use the chord to build a fill, you want to be using the kind of complex chord so that you create the sound that you're looking for in this kind of music. So Anyway, that's what I thought. That's what the plan is. I want to do a couple of these tunes for you, and then just discuss a little bit about the kinds of things I was doing for improv, to show you how, even though we don't teach this specific genre in the portal, in the membership area at this point in time, the concepts in there really do apply, because I don't really know anything more than what I'm teaching in the portal. So I have to take that stuff and use it here, and I want you to see how it will work. So we're going to start out with The Way You Look Tonight. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. You're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, touching my world apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose, it touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, never change. Keep your foolish charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my world apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, don't you ever change. Keep your foolish charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight. Okay, so what was I doing? Well, we started out in the key of D, and I was doing a lot of stuff with the D swing scale. Just playing around with the D swing scale. That's all I was doing there. Occasionally, I would take a chord, and remember, like I said, I would do one of these kind of fluttery chords like I taught in the kind of Alton-esque stuff. It's just that instead of it being a major chord or a minor chord or even a seventh, a lot of times it would be like a Oh, this is a 7 chord with a flatted 9. See, that kind of thing. Same kind of stuff that I do in rock and pop and country. It's just that these kinds of chords are a little bit different. So, kind of fun. Kind of fun. I'm going to do one other one for you. This is called, I've got the World on a String. And similar feel, I suppose. But again, we'll just see how it goes, and then we'll discuss a little bit of what kinds of things I'm doing and how it is actually using the very same information that we are learning in the membership portal all the time. Okay, see if I can remember how to play this. And don't hold me to the words on this one. Remember, I'm trying to learn how to play these things. I'm not going to be the singer, at least not for the project I'm working on. Oops. Take 2. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. I've got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Got the song that I sing, I can feel the rain go every time I move my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing, as long as I've got the string. I'd be a silly so and so if I should ever let it go. I've got a world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing, as long as I hold the string. I'd be a silly so and so if I should ever let it go. Oh, I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, hey, what a life. Hey now, yeah, I'm in love. Okay, once again, what was I doing? Well, in this particular one, I am cheating a little bit. I'm playing this. It's actually in D, okay, but I'm playing it in F because I'm a little bit more fluent in F. So I'm actually using the transposition key, but let's say that I was actually singing it in F. A lot of this, I'm just using the F swing scale and occasionally the F blues scale. That thing right there. All F swing scale. Occasionally I go into the blues scale and add some dominant sevenths in there. Okay? And then when we get into the whole, life is a beautiful thing. It goes into into some really interesting, fun chord changes. There's dominant ninths, and then eventually we've got a 13 here. So what I'm doing there is I'm keeping the fills pretty simple. I'm just using flutters, using the chord that I'm playing, but it's effective, you know. So we go. Life is a beautiful thing. As I hold a string, I'd be a silly soul and so if I should ever let it go. Got the world on a string, I can feel the rainbow. So a lot of what I'm doing is just playing the right chord and dinking around inside that so I don't have to move my hand that much. And then whenever there's actually a real empty space where I don't have to concentrate on singing or whatever, then I tend to use the swing scale primarily, because we are doing music that's more highly related to swing, but occasionally some notes from the blues scale as well. So for instance, just kind of improvising in the chords during I got the world on a string, I can feel the rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Now we have a little break and I can use the swing scale. So, no different from doing rock, pop, and country, just different, you know, kind of bass line, different kind of drum track, and different kinds of chords. But in terms of how you actually apply the stuff, you know, it's really pretty straightforward. So the stuff that I'm teaching you in there, I know that we're focusing on rock, pop, and country music, but I want you to understand that this is universal improvisation information. And it can be applied to almost any setting. There are very, very few forms of any kind of popular music from the 20th century to the current day where the blues and the swing scale won't do you a lot of good. You know, they will do you a lot of good. And improvising with the, you know, making up fills from the chords that you're playing will always be useful. You just have to learn the right chords for the kind of music that you're playing, for the genre that you're in. If you're in this kind of jazzy stuff, you're going to have to play a lot more complex chords if you want to really flavor it out the way that you've heard it, because that's what they were into. If you're in rock, pop, and country, a lot of time, or modern rock, pop, and country, you're going to have a lot of major, minor, and occasionally some sevens and some added nines, but you're not going to have a ton of sharp nines and, you know, sharp 11ths and flatted nines and 13s and all that kind of stuff. But they're very, very common in this kind of music. So you have to make sure that you know your chords well. But heavens, you know, I mean, the cascading arpeggios, because these songs are new enough to me in terms of actually playing them, I didn't do anything that complicated. But you could do a cascading arpeggio on a more complex chord. It could be like this. It should be da 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 da. Very easily just be something like that. You know, in fact, let me play the track and I'll do that where I've got a little support so I don't have to do that with my left hand. I'm sure I could learn how, I'm on camera doing it live right now. I haven't had a chance to practice it, but let's see. That would be a fun one, because what I'm doing here, that's from the F swing scale, okay? It is F and then two of the, what I call the flavor notes. F and then the D, which is the 6, and the A flat, which is the minor third. Okay? So listen to how that would be in context. much, I'm going to do another one. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. So, same technique that we learned in Cascading Arpeggios in the members portal. It's just that we apply it to a goofier arpeggio, or a different, maybe a more complex set of notes, or forming the chord that your arpeggio is in. So instead of just being an F major chord, like, which by the way would work, but you can see, listen to that in context, and let's see if you can hear how it works, but it's not as stylistically cool. Still very nice, right? Okay. But if we want to jazz it up, we got to use those grace notes that are in there. So we want to add in the minor third and the sixth, and we get this. So, but did the technique change? No. So this is really about understanding chords mostly, and then applying those techniques to more complicated, unusual chords. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to use, I happened to notice that today, because I remember when I first decided I would do this for the guy, the first thing that went through my mind is, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't play that kind of music. I mean, I dabble in it a little bit here and there, but I really don't play that kind of music. Do I have the chops to do a whole night of that? Not that I don't think that I'm capable of learning that, or that it's harder or whatever, but I think, you become good at what you're focusing on. And my focus tends to be rock, pop, and country, because those are the gigs that I end up getting. And I was like, gosh, do I have the chops right now to be able to do a whole night of this crooner stuff and do it well? And it just seemed like an intriguing enough challenge that I said, okay, look, I'm all in, I'm going to do it, I'll figure it out as I go. I have until, I think, November to get all of these things done, so I've got some time to get better at it. But as I started working on it and putting these first few things together and playing around, I realized, you know what? I know everything I need to know. It's just a matter of applying it in this template, These same principles that I teach and that I use all the time, all the kinds of improv techniques, all the licks and things that I like to use, they're all applicable. The swing scale and the blues scale are applicable. It's just a matter of applying it in these chord progressions with these kinds of flavor notes. And it's coming along, and it's really proving to be fun. I expect to be a lot better at this by November because of the practice I'm going to have to put in, and just the process of putting the tracks together and kind of learning these songs. But I was very heartened by that, and I realized, what, I should share this with you guys, because I made that observation kind of by accident today. Wow, what I'm teaching actually can help you play jazz music as well, or at least standards. Pop standards from the 30s and the 40s, because techniques and the principles are the same. It's just a matter of applying them to these chord progression templates. So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool, so I thought I'd share it with you. And in the meantime, I am working on some really important stuff for this week, more integration series stuff, and I will make more announcements about that later, but I'm really excited. So thank you for all the amazing feedback you've been giving me on these blogs, both on YouTube and inside the members portal. And remember that you can join as a free member, and actually you can leave comments and everything. There's a sampling of all the lesson videos that are available to the paid members for the free members. The song tutorial archive is completely free and available there, so that stuff's on YouTube as well. But if you register as a free member, then you can actually search by artist and title. It's much easier and faster to find the video you're looking for. And every single video has comments enabled so that we can, ask questions. You can ask me a question about a specific video. I'll know what you're talking about, which is so much easier than when I just get a random email. I mean, I appreciate it when the emails come, but it's so much nicer to get those questions in a comment right underneath the video in question, because then I can refer to that and I know what you're talking about, and it's really helping me know what to teach next. So I appreciate all the comments and the feedback, and you guys are going to start getting to know each other, and you can ask each other questions and become friends, and we're really gelling into quite a community here. So thank you very much. That's what we need to do if we are going to change the world for the better, one piano player at a time. We got to create a community. So thank you for helping me out with that vision. And once we have community, we have more fun. And as you know, if you're not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong. Okay, I'm going to get out of here for the night. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure I'll have something more to say tomorrow. Whether or not it'll be valuable, we'll just find out then, won't we? Take care, gang. I'm signing out.